So what you see here is just truly the progression of an invoice, the incoming invoice to when it actually gets created in the ERP in BC. So as we go left to right, what it's highlighting is simply, we're going to ingest invoices for you. Likely they're going to come in by email or you can upload them absolutely into the application. Email, easiest way, right? We monitor an email address, we bring those invoices in, and we immediately extract the data from them.
Hmm.
So as the AI is reading that invoice, much like I mentioned before, the power here is that integration to BC. We're going to go look for the purchase order in BC. We're going to retrieve the information from that PO, any receipts that have been completed. We're going to validate that it is an approved vendor, is set up in BC already.
Hmm.
And as we look at it, think about it, just think about a purchase order invoice, for example, right now. So PO invoice comes in and we see that it's a match. There's actually the configuration tool that, as you go through the setup, that's going to say, hey, do you want to do straight through processing? Meaning, if we find a match and it's within a 2%, a 3%, a 5% variance of the purchase order, and it's under X amount, right? So if we put in a 2% variance, but it's a giant invoice and that's
Hmm.
a $2,000 difference, you may not want to approve that. So we'll say, hey, you put in the percent, but not to exceed X dollar amount. We can flow that straight through into BC. AP never has to touch it. Now, keep in mind, we're going to date and timestamp the heck out of it. There's going to be a whole audit trail in there
Hmm.
that the data, the invoice was brought in, the data was extracted. We found that it was a match. So we integrated it to BC.
Hmm.
If it's not a match, right? Or it's a non-PO invoice, it's going to come into a queue, super filters that they can, navigate what they want to work on by vendor, by due date, by amount, and they can route it for review and approval. And the workflow is fully configurable, right? It can be based on dollar amount. You can have an X number of approvals. Remember, unlimited number of approvers. So if you've got an invoice that's your max dollar amount and you need a manager, a VP, and then your CFO and your CEO to approve it, no problem, we're going to fire those all off for you behind the scenes.
Hmm.
But the straight through processing, Chuck, the key element there is, again, artificial intelligence and data extraction. OCR was that absolute buzzword. Going forward, think about the fact that if we're going to extract that data, why the heck would we not try and remove extra fingers, extra steps in the process? If it's a
Hmm.
match, push it on through.
Hmm. Absolutely. And remove the extra fingers, remove the extra steps. Now they can do something of greater value that hopefully helps the customer. And that's
So
really what
true.
it's always about, right? We always apply it, always about the benefit, actually, not only to your company, but also to your customer.